Good morning, my friends, or good evening, or good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. I know it is 3:13 in the morning, and you're wondering why I'm doing this devotional. Well, I'm at work right now, so I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to do this. Lately in my spirit, as of Saturday, I just been feeling, the story in the Bible. And last night I wrote a blog. Called It Doesn't Define You, and I'm probably going to go into more, not greater detail, but simply want to just give you a devotional or a preaching, if you will, over the next couple of minutes. But, in the book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 25, it talks about a familiar story where we know, and it's about the woman with the issue of blood. And I encourage you to go read it. It doesn't matter what version. I'm going to be reading it really quick from the Message version. And it says in verse 25, a woman who had suffered a condition of hemorrhaging for 12 years, a long succession of physicians had treated her badly, taking all her money and leaving her worse off than before. Had heard about Jesus, she slipped in from behind and touched his robe. She was thinking of herself, if I can put a finger on his robe, I can get well. The moment she did it, the flow of blood dried up. She would feel the change and knew her plague was over and done with. At the same moment, Jesus felt energy discharging from him. He turned around the crowd and asked, who touched my robe? His disciples said, what are you talking about? With the crowd pushing you and jostling you, you're asking, who touched me? Dozens have touched you. But he went on asking, looking around to see who had done it. The woman, knowing what had happened, knowing she was the one, stepped up in fear and trembling, and knelt before him and gave him the whole story. Jesus said to her, daughter, you took the risk of faith, and now you're healed and whole. Live well, live blessed, and be healed of your plague. From my blog, I had, like I said, entitled it, It Doesn't Define You. This woman was suffering with this issue of blood for almost 12 years. And so often, the very issues that we struggle with now are the issues that sort of define us. For example, if you're probably struggling with divorce, you probably have a label of divorce over your forehead. If you're struggling with financial debt, you're having this issue of financial debt. This financial debt has become your label. If you're struggling with pornography, homosexuality, lust, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, there's this big old label on your head that has your issue. And so this woman for 12 years was seen unclean, was just seen an outcast, impure, not part of the group. And it's so often how our issues will never be revealed until someone points them out or someone exposes us. And to be honest, I feel like as a Christian or as a believer, we shouldn't be able to do that. Because this woman lived in isolation. She lived in fear her whole entire life, knowing that she was labeled with this issue, with this thing that was eating away at her physical, her emotional and spiritual life. So often the issues in our life can affect us all around, but when it affects us internally, it's always going to affect the people that are around us externally. And so this woman, when she heard that Jesus was coming, it sparked faith in her spirit to know that the Father was coming where she was. But how many of you know that the miracles never happen at the beginning, at the end? The miracles always happen along the journey. As Jesus was walking, this woman out of nowhere stopped him, and bam, she was healed. And to be honest, as we're walking in this journey of faith, the miracles that Jesus has done in your life, they're not meant for you to just take them all in and, hog them all up. But this woman was seen clean. She was seen healed. And this was part of a testimony to see God's healing work in her. But the way she did it, though, is what I love about it, is that she pushed through the crowd. I wouldn't know how many people were there. But the woman who was, like, she pressed her way to receive a miracle. When she heard Jesus was coming around town, it just sparked this faith of expectancy. And, that's what I love about God, is that, even in our seasons where we feel alone or where we feel quiet, I feel like we should always be expectant in every season of our lives. Because it comes down to this, and this is one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. It's found in 1 Peter chapter number 4, verse 12, and it says, "Friends, when life gets really difficult, don't jump to the conclusions that God isn't on the job. Instead, be glad that you're in the very thick of what Christ experienced. This is the spiritual refining process with glory just around the corner." Verse 14 says, if you're abused because of Christ, count yourself fortunate. It's the Spirit of God and His glory in you that brought you to the notice of others. If they're on you because you broke the law or disturbed the peace, that's a different matter. But it's because you're a Christian. Don't give it a second thought. Be proud of the distinguished status reflected in that name. As this woman, the issue of blood became her name. It became her issue. It became her situation. A lot of times we allow our issues, our struggles, our situations to become our name, to become a different identity. But this woman changed her mind. She had a different mindset. She didn't know what was going to happen, but she says, if I could touch His robe, if I can just get to the bottom, if I can just move away all the people that are in my way, just to receive an ounce of healing, just to receive the power that I need to feel healed. A lot of times we shouldn't let our issues define us. We should let our issues push us. You see, your issue God can only take care of that. As a believer, for like myself or any others, we're here to help, we're here to encourage you, but it's up to you to wake up in the morning and say, listen, I may be financially broke, but glory is coming around the corner. I may be struggling in my marriage, I may be struggling in my relationship, but glory is just coming around the corner. I may be facing so many things spiritually, physically, emotionally, I don't know what I'm going through, but glory is just around the corner. I may be weak, I may be tired, I may be with the wrong crowd. Let me tell you something. Leave the wrong crowd. You don't need the crowd to face. You definitely don't need bad friends. Why? Because, bad character corrupts good morals. But I want you to just be away from that and know that glory is still coming around the corner. You see, friends, as I close with this, don't allow your situation to hold you down. Don't live in this mindset of, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not clean enough, I'm not pure enough. Hey, I mess up, we all mess up, we all make mistakes. Don't let your situations define who you are. But know that glory is around the corner. And if you can press away through the fears, through the worries, through the doubts, through the struggles, through the people who tell you you can't make it. If you see God in an instant, you're gonna make it. Your breakthrough is just around the corner. Friends, God bless you. I love you. May the Lord keep you. May His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May He lift up His countenance on you and give you peace. Remember, your situation doesn't define you. Let your situation push you to the breakthrough that you need. God bless you guys. Love you.